Hi, my name is Andrew Boble, and I am the instructional technologist here in the School of Nursing at Weiner University. I am enrolled in this class as part of the K-12 leadership program, and certainly look forward to this course as well as many others within the program. Before being here at Weiner, I was a fourth grade math and science teacher for 6 years down in Clarksville, Tennessee. There I was the team leader in fourth grade as well as a mentor teacher, and certainly provided a little bit of the supervision aspect to new teachers coming into the system as well as our building. So I have a little bit of experience in that supervision aspect, not so much in the evaluation, but certainly look forward to doing that a little bit more as my professional career grows. Reflecting on the 1.1 exercise, there were a lot of statements in there that I agreed with or strongly agreed with. Some of the statements that I agreed with are certainly that you can have the same individual for both supervision and evaluation. You would want definitely that individual to separate those two things, but you can certainly have the same individual for both of those as long as there's a balance between those two entities. I strongly agreed with being observed at least once a year. I think it should be more often than once a year. Instructors should be able to reflect on prior observances, and in order for that to occur, it would need to occur more than one time a year. And certainly if you're switching grade levels or content areas, that is something that should certainly be emphasized. No matter how long the teacher has been there, if it's new content, new class, new curriculum, those things should be evaluated on a yearly basis, if not more frequently. Another entity that I strongly agreed with is that a supervisor is a one-on-one relationship. I think it can be a collaborative relationship with others in there, but there needs to be a relationship that is established between both the supervisor and the person being supervised, so that the expectations are clearly established within that relationship, and what is expected throughout the school year and throughout the process of both those individuals, I think is very important. Something that I strongly disagreed with is, of course, it should not be the same procedures for both. I think that obviously with supervision and evaluation being separated, those procedures should not be followed through, and that is emphasized in the chapter in a couple different tables and displays. And I also disagreed with that the evaluator should have experience in the grade level that they are evaluating. I think certainly around the grade level would be acceptable. You don't certainly need to be a fourth grade teacher to evaluate fourth grade content. You should certainly be aware of the content and know what's being taught and what's the message trying to be conveyed to the students. But I don't think it necessarily needs to be the exact grade level that was taught that you need to have experience in as the evaluator. Going off of that, I was surprised at certainly that exercise in 1.1 by some of the outcomes, and one of those would be that a teacher's performance data, the number one indicator is the classroom observation. I would agree with that statement. I don't necessarily strongly agree with that. I think there should be certainly other things that go into teachers' evaluation besides the classroom observation. And certainly if, it was a bad day in class, the teacher didn't have a good day, or some of the students weren't having a good day, that's going to affect the observation. So certainly not overemphasized on that data, but it should certainly be a part of the puzzle. And I can't disagree with the statement, because then that would say that none of that data should be in there. So that was one that I kind of went back and forth on and had to, ponder a little bit. But certainly the observation should be part of the teacher performance data through the year. Not all of it, certainly part of it. And going off of, probably using, some of the standardized test data that comes in, and, prior information and things should all go into that data, but not all of it should be based on that observation. Using the text, supervision is defined as an organizational function concerned with promoting teacher growth and leading to improvement in teacher performance and greater student learning. Prior to reading the chapter, I thought, oh, supervisor, that's going to be the principal, the assistant principal. And after reading that, I'm thinking a supervisor is certainly anyone who has an influence on what you're doing inside of the educational setting. So whether that's an academic coach or a mentor teacher or something along those lines, all those people are supervisors. They're not necessarily the evaluators, but those people are growing you professionally and do have an effect on student learning and leading to improvement in teacher performance. And I think that's very important because that teacher performance term is inside of the evaluation aspect of this, an organizational function designed to make comprehensive judgments concerning teacher performance and competence for purposes of professional decisions such as tenure or continuing employment. So certainly the evaluation process is separate from the supervision process. Those two things do work together. There is overlap there, and the processes are different. They can be the same individuals. There just needs to be a separate entity of those two things. I think it is very important for the evaluation to be multiple aspects. I already talked about how it should be part of the classroom observation and certainly the student scores and whatever might be done, professional development or what's done within school, what committees you're on, what things you've done after the school program, things like that. There's a lot of different components that should make up that evaluation process of a teacher. Certainly the evaluation in the classroom is done by a supervisor. Might not necessarily be an evaluator, but certainly I would assume that if someone is an evaluator, they are also a supervisor, not vice versa. If they're a supervisor, they're not always an evaluator. So it's kind of, an iffy catch there. And the book is certainly aware of that and trying to separate those two entities. So it's important to know that those two things are connected, although they are separate. And I look forward to reflecting on those two things and how my mind has differentiated in those two aspects and how I have grown to know those two roles much more in depth after this class. All of my information has come from Teacher Supervision and Evaluation by Nolan and Hoover, 2011, 3rd edition. Thank you very much.